Well, hello everybody. Today on Wish Upon a Run, we have a very exciting special guest, right, Kristen?
We definitely do.
So we were lucky enough to reach out to former Olympian Jeff Galloway. Now, you probably know him because he is the official race coach for RunDisney. Am I saying that right?
Yes, the official training consultant.
Official training
I believe
consultant.
is the title listed.
So we were lucky enough to reach out to him, and he agreed to do a quick Zoom interview with us because nobody does in-person interviews anymore. So thankfully, Jeff gave us some of his time. And Kristen, you were able to talk to him just about what it's like running with a pandemic going on and some of the things that he's been working on to keep runners motivated, and also some of the physics and of the actual mental physics of running, correct?
Yes. So you're about to watch our interview with him, which has a wealth of great information. So, hi everybody. This is Kristen from Wish Upon a Run, and today we have an amazing guest here with us, Olympian, official training consultant for RunDisney, Jeff Galloway, has joined us to answer some questions and provide us all some valuable advice in running. So, Jeff, thank you so much for being here today. And also, I want to kind of just get started for viewers who are not familiar with your run, walk, run method, there's a little bit to it, but could you take a few minutes to tell us about that method and what are the key things that somebody who's never heard of it should know?
The method was initiated back in the early 1970s when I was asked to teach a beginning class. But the essence of it, if you put it in sort of the Cliff Notes version, is that it allows almost anyone to get into running, get all the benefits of running, but reduce the chance of getting injured or having aches and pains or exhaustion to practically nothing. I very quickly in my running career became one who was against three major things. First, I was against aches and pains. Secondly, I was against exhaustion. And third, I was totally against puking. And Run, Walk, Run can really keep you away from all three of those.
Yeah, you can, that's my top three too. That's awesome. And, just for the viewers here, we're going to talk a little bit too about learning more about that at the end and where you can go with that. Additionally, with everything going on, a lot of things happening in life right now, and people need a reason to stay motivated. How do you stay motivated right now and just keeping you running in general in your life, more than just weeks or months? What do you do, Jeff, and recommend to our runners?
Well, it's natural to lose motivation during a time like we're going through now. There's a whole lot of general stress about the future and situation we're in. And when it comes to people who have been running regularly, most of them sort of define their running by a goal, a race, some type of a time goal, or a group that they run with. Now, most of those have been taken away in terms of, the actual events and the actual training groups and so forth. And so this is a source for loss of motivation. Now, what I do when I'm talking with groups is, first of all, let them know that motivation is usually the result of which brain component you choose to use when you engage in any activity. For example, with running, you can choose between the ancient subconscious brain and the human brain anytime you go out for a run. Most runners actually start by allowing the ancient brain the emotional brain to be in control, because it's a natural tendency when you are doing an activity that you've learned how to do. In the ancient brain, all of the behavior patterns are set up in a reflex motion. The problem with allowing the ancient brain to be in control of your running is that as you build up stress during a run, which you will do through the fatigue stress, the weather stress, maybe your goal stress, and then of course the conditions today, the stress of not having races, not having groups to run with, or your favorite friend even to run with. All of the sum total of those stresses, if you're under the control of the ancient brain, will cause the ancient brain to release negative hormones. The more stress you get under, the more negative those hormones will get. And so it's natural, if you are under the control of the ancient brain, to feel in these times a lowering of motivation because of the hormones. Now, the way out of that is fairly simple if you'll take action, but you have to take cognitive action. And by cognitive action, you have to have a strategy that turns on your human brain. Now, the human brain overrides, if you activate it, it will override the ancient brain and the hormones will go away. And then as you set up a strategy that you can do on that day, you can move step by step into the positive hormones. Because what running does for you in any format, even if you're only running 5 seconds and walking for 30 seconds, you're going to get certain brain circuits turned on that can change your attitude and turn everything around. It's very well documented now that running turns on the brain circuit for a better attitude, the circuit for more vitality, and the circuit for personal empowerment better than anything. And boy, do we need the personal empowerment at this particular point in time.
No, I completely agree. Even the happiest of people can go through times right now where they just have those days that are a struggle. And that's fascinating, like what you were just talking about. I guess I never really thought about it like that. You feel better when you run and it triggers something, but there's so much to it, and that's really great insight. Thank you.
I didn't know about this either until I was given the assignment to write the mental training book. And as I wrote that book, I realized that the research on how the brain operated really was not around until the 1990s, when safe brain scanning devices were developed to be able to do that. And as a result of the research that came out, a whole new world has opened up on motivation.
I didn't realize that it was almost that recent that all of that was kind of identified. And as far as the data behind that and the studies, if you will.
Well, there were a number of cognitive strategies that I had identified in training with a number of different people. For example, my teammate on the Florida Track Club and my teammate on the Munich Olympic team, Frank Shorter, who won the gold medal in 1972 in the Olympics. Well, these really cognitive runners like Frank had strategies for every run, and you just never heard of them say negative thoughts about how they were so down and couldn't be motivated and so forth, because they kept overcoming those negative hormones that the ancient brain will put out under stress. They overcame them by having cognitive strategies. And you'll see in my mental training book, there are 3 that stand out. Mental rehearsal, which has been around for more than 50 years in sports. The second method is a form of positive brainwashing that I call magic words. And the third are some dirty tricks that are quick fixes that will turn on the human brain to get you down the road for another quarter mile to half mile closer to the finish line.
That's awesome. Yeah, speaking of books, like I have your Run, Walk, Run book, but I should mention for the viewers, he is a accomplished author. He mentioned the mental health book that I'm gonna go look for as soon as I'm done taping this, because I didn't realize you had that book in the list, but he's got so many. So go check them out. And I know I'm gonna go buy that tonight because I think I need it myself. So thank you for mentioning that.
Well, it certainly will give you some material to help the folks that you work with. And if you ever have any questions about that, feel free to get in touch with me. You can also tell your folks that if they want more information individualized, I put on weekend retreats and also online running schools that have interactive formats so folks can ask any questions that they have.
That is epic. So I have a question that's not so much about running, but you participate in a lot of RunDisney stuff. In hearing our people who listen to the channel, they're huge RunDisney fanatics. Do you have a favorite race weekend? Is it marathon weekend? Is it wine and dine? There's Princess, do you have one that you really enjoy hanging out at more than the other?
They're all fun, and of course they all have different themes, as you know. However, my most favorite and most busy is the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend in January, mainly because I have done every single one of them. I was there for the very first race that Disney did, which was the Walt Disney World Marathon 1994. And
Wow.
I've run every single one of them since. Of course, this year it's going to be a virtual, which I will do in order to stay perfect on that list too.
Yeah, that is awesome. I do love marathon weekend as well. That's awesome. I think our viewers are going to really love that. So also, kind of in going what you were talking about with earlier, is there a piece of advice that you think runners should know? Maybe you learned something later in your career that you wish you had known earlier. What do you think that would be helpful for somebody?
Well, the first bit of advice is this whole idea of having a strategy for every run and then having a backup list of mantras that you can say in case you feel a little, not as motivated at any point during that run. Those two things really have helped. The other just basic bit of advice for everyone is don't give up. I mean, most of the cases where I have achieved at a higher level, I went through doubts and went through stages of those races where I didn't think I was going to be able to do what I wanted to. And in a lot of cases, I didn't think I was going to even be able to finish running at the pace that I was doing. But I simply didn't give up. And what this does when you go through this mental process over and over again is it causes your human brain in the frontal lobe to activate the right side. That's the creative and intuitive side. And it has all types of inner sources of strength, but you have to trigger it. And you actually have to sort of train yourself to go there by not giving up and hanging on and by saying those mantras. Don't give up. I'm not going to give up. I can do this. One more step. Keep going. I'm getting it done. I'm doing it. I did it. So all of those are positive statements, but they activate the human brain that keeps you in control over your emotions.
I think that's phenomenal. Over the years, I too have run many, many races, and I think that's so key is that people need to understand whether you are a beginning runner, you're just getting started, or you've been doing it a long time. Just having that positive mental attitude and saying, I can do it, just one more step. You're just one more step closer can take such a difference. I think just in your training, whether you're in your neighborhood or if you're in a race, like that's such a great point to make. And I think everybody could use that right now as they're working towards their goals. And hopefully maybe they're working on their marathon weekend training right now too.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure there are at least several out there that are doing that. They had quite an enrollment
Yeah.
when it was initially released and filled up the slots right away.
I know. I know. So, even if it's virtual, and, speaking of, you guys just had a virtual race weekend. And so we are going to put some of that information here in the video link in the video here where people can register. How did your virtual race weekend go right now?
Well, we've received nothing but positive feedback. Now, this is a totally different take on a virtual race weekend because
Yes.
we tried to simulate the gatherings that we would have if it were a regular race weekend, in which Barb and I had a meet and greet on Friday evening, just like we would do if we held the race in person. And then we had live broadcasts of the race itself through a group, a platform called Charge Running. Great group of people, great technical aspects. But the bottom line is, you, as part of your registration process, will receive the Charge app, and you can still enter our virtual until March 1st. And there's an on-demand version, so you can still access these broadcasts. And they're really upbeat. I'm on the microphone. In some cases, Barb is also on the microphone. We had the broadcast for an hour for the 5K with all types of coaching that I gave and stories and bringing on some friends. And then on Sunday morning, we did 4 hours of the half marathon. Yes, 4 hours. I was on the microphone for 4 hours,
Wow.
but it was not one bit of a lull because there's always tips and things that people need to know and mistakes that folks make at a certain point in the race. And then people on this Charge app, you get to see the names and the distances every mile that people are recording. So you are running together with thousands of people around the world. It's really neat. And there's good music on the background. I'm giving coaching tips at the time. And I brought in 3 of my friends, Bill Rogers, Dean Carnassus, and Amby Burfoot. And we had a lot of fun, let me tell you. And I've gotten just so many responses from folks saying how they enjoyed that broadcast and how they want us to do more. And we do plan to do more. But you need to know that if you want to do a long run and you'd really like some help, you can join our virtual, get the Charge app as part of the process, go to the on-demand recordings, and then pick the 5K or the half. And even if you're not going 13.1 miles, you could get the support for whatever distance you're doing because it goes on for 4 hours.
Yeah, that I know. Adam and I saw that a couple weeks ago when we first contacted you. I know that it's on our list to do, and I saw that you can, listen to those recordings. So we want to encourage all the viewers. Go ahead. Like I said, the link is here in the video. We're going to put it in, and you can listen to Jeff live. I can't wait to do this. And as you mentioned, there's multiple content that you can get. And this is good until you said March? March 1st. So you have plenty of time to do this. So that's amazing. So viewers, go ahead. We're going to put the information in here and you need to check this out. This is unlike any other virtuals that are out there.
It really is. And then we had some clinics also, some Zoom clinics on Saturday afternoon. We had a very renowned orthopedist, and people were firing questions at her. And then we also had a victory celebration after the race. We got an hour break and got right into the victory celebration meet and greet, and people were saying what they saw and did, and it was just so positive.
That's awesome. So I can't wait to do that myself. So kind of as we try to wrap up here, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you'd really like to mention to our viewers and to the running community right now?
Well, first of all, it is important these days to stay connected in some way. And we have been sort of a default mechanism for a lot of runners because of the connections that we've made over the years. And we are there for you. It's our purpose to help people improve the quality of their lives through running and walking. And we have a wide range of resources there that are free. And if folks have any questions, they can email me. And my direct email address, which I'm fine to give, is jfg@jeffgalloway.com. We also have, starting the 1st of January, a 60-day challenge. It's called Winter Fun in 21. And so during the 60 days, you can choose one of 3 levels: to reach 60 miles in 60 days, or 120 miles, or 180 miles. And of course, the goodies that you would get will get better as the mileage increases. We want to reward those who go farther. But the main thing that happens with this is not only the accomplishment of recording your miles and then seeing where you are on the leaderboard, but you're seeing the postings from others that are doing that. And of course, the first 2 months of the year are always the toughest for most runners to keep going during times when the weather's not that great. And of course, in this day and age, when there aren't races and you have groups that are very seldom meeting, if they are meeting at all.
Yeah.
We'll get through this, but our mission as Galloway Productions is to help you get through this.
No, thank you so much. You mentioned a few things about how people can follow you. You have a website with Jeff Galloway training that they can go to, and we're going to put the link here too. I think I couldn't say it any better than what you have already told us here today. Is like the connectedness and keeping up with fellow runners and the training advice that you give. You need that encouragement, and I know Jeff is here to continue to give that to you guys. Here at Wish Upon a Run, we want to continue that positivity, and we thank you, Jeff, for coming in here and talking to us, because I feel like this is what the runners need.
I'm there to help, and so don't hesitate to reach out at any point. You're doing a great job. You're really helping people stay motivated and giving them tips and bringing in the resources. I'm pleased to be part of that.
That's awesome, Jeff. So I think we are going to wrap up, for this video, and we just want to thank you again for your time. And, we are going to have all the links here for everybody to follow up. And Jeff, we can't wait to be a part of more of the things that you're doing. Adam and I are going to be closely involved, and we want to continue to participate because we love what you do.
Well, thank you so much. And I salute every one of you out there that is dedicated to finding ways of turning on your brain and getting that body in shape. And you're just going to enjoy life more by doing that. So keep it up.
So true. So thank you so much, Jeff. That's all we have for today. And we will definitely be in touch. And I wish you all the best now and in the holiday season.
Well, same to y'all. Have fun.
Wow, Kristen, you did an excellent job talking with Jeff, and he had some absolute amazing things to say. I would have liked to have joined the interview, but unfortunately there's only two of us, and somebody had to hit the record button and do all the technical mumbo jumbo. But gosh, was it so much fun to watch you talk to Jeff, and he is just an amazing wealth of knowledge for people like us and for our viewers out there. What a takeaway, right? And I hope that you guys can comment on this video below with some of your thoughts about all those great, amazing things that Jeff had to say. As far as motivation, as far as your human brain, I thought that was super interesting.
I don't know that I could find anybody more inspirational in the running community than Jeff Galloway. He has done so much for my personal running training. If you have heard of him before, you've maybe seen him at RunDisney events, and just generally his presence he's a columnist in Running World magazine, and he's got tons and tons of books. He's an author on top of all of that.
Crazy.
So we're gonna have an end screen here that has places where you can check him out.
Check out his virtual
The
run that goes through
description.
March 1st. That sounds amazing that he's
Yeah.
got some live content, recorded live content that you can check out for his virtual. Sounds like he had a 5K and a half, which sounds amazing. So we're definitely going to check that out as well. But please, if you have not checked out Jeff Galloway's website or his YouTube, check it out. He's got just an amazing wealth of stuff that can help out the common runner. Right, Kristen?
That's right. So go look at his Northside, I want to get this right, Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute virtual half marathon.
Yes.
Powered by Jeff Galloway. That's what he talked about for a bit of time. And that's where you can get those training tools. And for that virtual run that he mentioned, the links will also be in the description below. And lastly, I think it's just mainly a thank you. Again, 1,000 times thank you to Jeff Galloway.
Yeah, what a super amazing guy. Thank you so much, Jeff, for giving us your time. It's so valuable. So thank you so much. And thank you, everybody at home, for watching today. We are Wish Upon a Run. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you're staying up to date with all of our ongoing content here at Wish Upon a Run.